Good afternoon, and welcome to our annual report to Stakeholders Lunch. It gives me great pleasure to be here today representing this wonderful organization, Twin Cities Rise. Welcome to our many loyal and dedicated stakeholders in the room today. We have employers, donors, volunteers, staff, and Twin Cities Rise graduates. Thank you all for coming out on a dreary day to join us. I'd also like to offer special thanks to our generous sponsor of today's lunch, General Mills. Today I will briefly summarize those outcomes. I will touch on the theme of community engagement and support, specifically for Minneapolis' North Side. And then I will tie it all together with a perspective on the singular core program element and core value that I believe really drives our success, and that is our personal empowerment program. After my presentation, you'll have the pleasure of hearing some truly eloquent voices providing a perspective on Twin Cities Rise and other things. Antoine Perkins, a program graduate, will share his story with us. Minneapolis Councilman and Twin Cities Rise board member Don Samuels will deliver our keynote address. And Shantina Beatty, another program graduate, will also share her story. Steve Rothschild, our founder and board chair, will wrap it up. I'm often asked when presenting about Twin Cities Rise, how does Twin Cities Rise achieve these levels of success? There's no single answer, but there are several answers. It's our personal empowerment program. It's our respectful, welcoming, and non-judgmental environment. It's our values. Values of personal responsibility and accountability that we all live and breathe inside the four walls of Twin Cities Rise. It's the quality of our work. It's the quality of the work skills readiness preparation that we work on with participants. It's our staff, a group of professional, compassionate, and truly empowered coaches and instructors who really get it and who inspire fundamental transformative change in our participants. And it's our army of volunteers, donors, and hiring partners, many of whom are here today, who helped to make it all happen. So thank you.
Empowerment has humbled me as a person, and now I am able to look beyond myself and see how others are important, valuable, and lovable. I will be able to instill these same beliefs in my son as he grows and ensure that he doesn't make the same mistakes that I've made, because you see, before I came to Twin Cities Rise, my professional priorities were not in order. I bounced from job to job, never once thinking about the long term in my future, more so just thinking about the quick buck. Last summer, I became a Twin Cities Rise graduate after 1 year of retention at AT&T, an accredited collections business unit of the company. I now use empowerment daily. It allows me to effectively deal with my colleagues and my superiors at work effectively, and also my friends and family at home. Now I leave home at home and I leave work at work, no blurring the lines.
But I'm happy to say that there's a change happening in America. There's a real palpable change happening in America, and I am becoming a believer that things are going to change for good. And Twin Cities Rise is one of the organizations that has convinced me of this. These organizations believe that service providers who are paid should take responsibility for outcomes, that they're going to be accountable. They're going to measure things, and they're going to hold themselves accountable for success, not just effort. These organizations believe that failure is not an option. So instead of failure triggering apathy or failure triggering an alternate solution to those who have failed, like maybe building more jails, they believe that failure is not an option. And so they constantly are willing to change whatever needs to change to make it work. It's an incredible difference in attitude. They also believe that service is an evolutionary exercise. That if something doesn't work, you have to change it. And there are no sacred cows. They also believe, and this is key, that everyone is lovable and valuable. When I heard about Twin Cities Rise and visited them and visited one of their empowerment classes, I was absolutely blown away. I was blown away by the professionalism. I was blown away by the compassion. I was blown away by the passion. I was blown away by the humanity of it. That a corporate-style organization was addressing the issue of human potential. And this they developed, now I say we, after finding out that after they'd done the hard skills training for young men, especially and women, that when there was a crisis in their lives, they might have a meltdown and things would fall apart. So there was something on the inner core that needed to be strengthened. And that is the reason for the empowerment training. And that is why I joined the Twin Cities Rise Board, because I felt that it had joined organizations that were moving into this new paradigm.
At this point, I was willing to try anything. I felt tired and rejected. I felt worthless and useless. And when I got up each day, I knew I couldn't keep going on like that. Looking at my son every morning thinking, is this it for us? So also, I've gotten a few different things now from attending Twin Cities Rise. Not only did I better myself personally and professionally through empowerment and the other skills trainings there, I'm able to financially take care of me and my son, which just takes a whole different stress load off my back. I got support from, Twin Cities Rise, so I know if not anyone else is cheering for me, they're cheering for me. And I also found a passion that I have, which is to help others. And I want to help people who were once in my situation, who feel like that they can't really do it. They don't know what's next, where they just really feel lost.
Is you can interview our graduates. Now, I didn't say hire our graduates. I said interview our graduates. We don't want you to hire anybody from Twin Cities Rise if they don't meet your standards. But we want you to give them a chance. Not every organization gives people a chance, particularly if they're ex-offenders. But I can tell you that people who've come through Twin Cities Rise and taken empowerment have made a fundamental change in their lives. They've become accountable people. They've become role models. They've become wonderful citizens. And they deserve the opportunity to be interviewed. So please think about that, and I will guarantee you that you'll want to hire them.